In the Republican campaign this morning, Newt Gingrich is finding himself on top of several new polls.
Yeah, among them, a CBS News New York Times poll of Iowa Republicans, which shows longtime frontrunner Mitt Romney in second place. Political correspondent Jen Crawford is in Washington this morning with the latest. Jen, good morning.
Well, good morning, Erica. Good morning, Chris. Our poll shows that likely Iowa Republican voters think Gingrich is the most qualified of all the GOP candidates to be president. And as a result, he is leading in Iowa. But it's not all good news for him. Most voters have not made up their minds. They could still change their minds. And our poll indicates at least 3 other candidates are still in this thing. Iowa caucus goers like what they're hearing from former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. In our brand new CBS News New York Times poll, Gingrich is way ahead of the pack. He has the support of 31% of Republicans planning to participate in the first-in-the-nation nominating contest next month. That's nearly double Mitt Romney's 17% and Ron Paul's 16%, the two candidates running neck and neck for second place.
I handed you the latest CBS polls, and you laugh. Are you happy with these polls?
Well, I've been on the show with you when I was really unhappy in June and July. So, yes, this is a nice Christmas present.
Gingrich has benefited from solid debate performances. On questions of leadership and readiness to be president, the poll shows Gingrich with a commanding lead. 43% of likely Iowa caucus goers said Gingrich was most prepared to be president, with Romney a distant second with 20%. For Gingrich, frontrunner numbers mean frontrunner scrutiny and a bullseye on his back for the next 4 weeks. Ron Paul launched perhaps the harshest attack out of the campaign against Gingrich, labeling him a hypocrite.
Everything that Gingrich railed against when he was in the House, he went the other way when he got paid to go the other way.
He's demonstrating himself to be the very essence of the Washington insiders.
It's about serial hypocrisy.
Expectations for Romney in Iowa are low, but on the critical issue of the economy, which 7 in 10 voters say is even more important than social issues, Romney remains ever so slightly ahead of Gingrich. But it's very close on Romney's signature issue. The former Massachusetts governor has, until recently, been riding a wave of perceived inevitability. Now he, too, has to engage with rival Gingrich.
If the American people believe that what we need is someone who spent the last 40 years or so in Washington, D.C., working as an insider, why, he's the right guy.
Now, if Gingrich does stumble, both Ron Paul and Michelle Bachmann, surprisingly enough in our poll, could be poised to make a move. Both of those candidates are generating enthusiasm, and they're really polling well when voters are asked who best represents your values and who promotes conservative causes. So this thing is wide open. Erica?
Jen, this is Chris here. Let's talk about Mitt Romney for a second. How much of a problem does his campaign have right now with his numbers and with Newt Gingrich really kind of moving past him on most polls that we're seeing now?
Well, obviously, I mean, we've seen candidates come and go in this race, but these are pretty commanding numbers for Newt Gingrich. And there's not a lot of time here. There's 4 weeks in the calendar, but really, if you count out the week of Christmas, since voters don't really pay attention, then it's only 3 weeks. But I think you've got to be careful when we're looking in this poll. It is not a lock for Gingrich by any means. Remember, 2/3 of the voters still haven't made up their minds. And our poll does show us, I was saying earlier, that it looks like it could be a 4-way race with Paul and a true social conservative, like, say, a Michelle Bachmann. Gingrich is going to get a lot of attacks in the weeks to come, and some of those social conservatives who are with them now may not like what they see when they're reminded of some of the things in his past on personal issues, as well as some of the things on his leadership when he was Speaker of the House.
CBS's Jen Crawford in Washington for us this morning. Jen, thanks.